When I opened up the Bigfoot foot, the right foot, it'd have it in the freezer and it'd have all the kids come look at it. And, here's a note for Peter. I'll read this later. This is from my father. It's got a date on it, 1996. There was a note in there, and I said I was going to read it for later, so I'm going to read this to you all today. And I'm also going to show you this, what is inside. This is a very small freezer. And these small freezers appeared at my house, and my dad would keep the smaller Bigfoot parts in them. And they're very strange because I don't really understand how they work. There's no cord, and it doesn't look like, I've looked all over for a battery. There's no type of battery. I've never had to replace a battery, either did my dad. It just keeps everything super, super cold. That's what I was saying. Like, people are like, saying that it's going to, most of it's going to be bad or go bad over the years because, a regular freezer isn't going to keep everything cold enough. And I try to explain this, that everything is as cold can be. And this is an example. A lot of the things are kept in these small freezers. Now, when he wrote this was back in 1996, okay? And evidently the freezer kind of screwed it up. It looks all kind of screwed up. So I'm going to try and read this to you all. And I'm going to do the best that I can. Peter, be careful who you trust with the Bigfoot. Trust no one, and definitely don't trust the government. The reason why he's saying that is because he had this dealings with John DuPont, and he always said that John DuPont, it was like a government thing, that John DuPont got screwed, that he really wasn't crazy. Along with the packages of the Bigfoot head, you will find several small packages taped to the outside. In these small packages, you will find specimens of what me and Morty thought were tumors at the time we butchered the beast. Since it was 1953, I didn't have any idea what they were other than some kind of pathological growth. By the time you were born, we had figured out that these tumors, electrical devices, they have the appearance of being transistors, microchips, and microprocessors. We noticed some of them made a humming sound, particularly the objects that we found lower in the body. When we cut off the head, I noticed the bulk of these objects around the neck area. The objects from the lower part that hum are labeled. Where they are from correlating to the body parts they were removed between. All the objects that hummed when they were removed still are humming at the time I write this letter. It appears that the Bigfoot is part flesh and part machine. A cyborg. Cutting the Bigfoot up was difficult because tendons and veins were very tough. Also, as the meat was cut and we pulled it apart, some very small worm-like strands would snap and retreat back into the Bigfoot. We both thought that those were worms. The veins and tendons appeared to be some kind of artificial material. Don't eat the flesh, Dad. Well, I already did, so there's not much I can do. So let me show you this. This is one of the objects that they cut out that my dad thought was a tumor. And, whether it is or it isn't, I don't know. Check this out. Check it out. That's fucking Bigfoot meat with some kind of transistors on it or something. You can see it. It's that's like a piece of meat, and it's sitting on. What's it sitting on is frozen blood, water. Now that is the refrigerating element that it is sitting on. So you can, let me see if I can get a light closer. They're really old meat. Now, if I get real close to this, I can hear a humming. I can definitely hear it, and it isn't the small freezer. The small freezer makes no noise. Yeah, I can hear it. Check this out. Let's get in real close. Can you hear that? I mean, you can really see how old this meat is. This meat has been in this refrigerator, you know, since my dad put them in the small one, but before that it was in like a larger refrigerator. But you can see it's very, very old. When my father and Morty Lucas shot the Bigfoot in 1953, I don't think that they knew what really it was, but it sounds like by the time I was born that they had figured out that Bigfoot is clearly some kind of half animal, half machine. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know where my dad got these small refrigerators, and we don't know how they're powered, but there are several companies that are interested in this technology. So I'm going to put this up, and I got more to show you. I have more of these small objects. Some of them are even crazier than this, but this one hummed, so that's why I'm showing it to you. It still is powered, and I don't, you know, it still has some kind of power, I think. Bigfoot's clearly an alien, you know, or an alien in origin. It's clearly not just an animal. It looks like it's part machine.